Okay, it's Tuesday, and it's time for the vlog of randomness. No, this is not going to be the regular day of the vlog of randomness. Schedule just kind of got flip-flopped around a lot this week. So, hopefully next week we'll go back to normal. But, this is your vlog of randomness for Tuesday, March 24th, 2015. We're going to do a little interactivity. That's why I have this quarter here. And when I mean interactivity, let's talk about something that's been going on Twitter lately. Now, the respective Twitters of Walt Disney World and the Disneyland Resort have been having a March Madness tournament to determine which attraction is the best. There is teams from Disney World side and teams from Disneyland side, and when we're all said and done, we're going to find out which attraction is the best of both coasts. Now, that being said, I thought that it would be a good idea for Universal to do the same. Now, Universal Hollywood has a lot of the same things that we do here, so it was kind of a disadvantage somewhat for it to be Hollywood versus Orlando. That being said, I wanted to do Studios versus Islands. So yeah, that's right. I decided to put together my very own 32 attraction tournament to determine who is the tops, who is the best in the universe. So yeah, my best of universe tournament. And I'll give you a couple criteria right now. Number one, I came up with the 16 rides and attractions from both sides. Now, I'm sure you're going to call me on a couple of them, but I'll explain why in a little bit. Now, let me also state that there are a lot of things missing from this, but it was done on purpose, and in the case of something that's way too close to call, that's where the interactivity comes in, folks. That's where it comes in. So, let's talk about the 16 attractions that will be representing Universal Studios Florida. They are as followed: Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts, Transformers 3D, The Revenge of the Mummy, Men in Black Alien Attack, Universal Cinematic Spectacular, E.T. Adventure, The Horror Makeup Show, Despicable Me, Minion Mayhem, Twister, KANG and KODOS, TWIRL and HURL, T2 Battle Across Time, BEETLEJUICE'S Graveyard Mashup, Disaster, The Simpsons Ride, Hollywood Rip Ride ROCKIT, and last but certainly not least, SHREK 4D. Now, let me explain the Islands of Adventure group we have. We have Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, The Amazing Spider-Man, The Incredible Hulk, Ollivander's Wand Experience, Jurassic Park, the Hogwarts Express, which I'm sure you're probably going to give me heat for the fact that you could say Hogwarts is on both sides. Well, the reason why it's actually on the side of Islands is because I think it makes the most sense for it to be. Same with Ollivander's. Dragon Challenge, as a collective, The Cat in the Hat, Popeye and BLUTO'S, Bilge Rat Barges, Poseidon's Fury, Dudley Do-Right's Ripsaw Falls, The Storm Force of Celatron, One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish, The Carousel, The Flight of the Hippogriff, and The Eighth Voyage of Sindbad. Not my choice to use that last one, but it was the only real thing I could come up with. There were a lot of things that did not make it in here. One of the Blues Brothers and Celestina Warbeck in here did not make the cut. Sorry about that. And, yeah, Sinbad's in here. Well, it's got to be a show, so I guess that's the only way to do it. Now, I will honestly say that my top three, I decided personally. But everything else, I was left up to chance. And I went to one of those randomizer websites, and I chanced the rest of the brackets. Let's talk about the teams and the tournament as it lines up. Let's talk about the Universal Studios Florida teams, and this is their bracket. And I'm going to say we're going to do this live, so I'm probably going to be typing during this because I'm trying to decide what's going to be facing off against the other. So we have the number 11 seeded Terminator taking on the number 5 Cinematic Spectacular. Number 15 seeded Rip Ride ROCKIT taking on number 3, The Mummy. Transformers The Ride 3D at number 2, taking on KANG and KODOS, TWIRL and HURL, which is seed 10. The number 14th seed The Simpsons Ride, taking on number 7 Horror Makeup Show. the Disaster, which is seated at 13, taking on 16's SHREK 4D. You have number 12, which is Beetlejuice, taking on number 4, Men in Black. Number 8, Despicable Me, taking on number 6, E.T., and number 1, Escape from Gringotts, taking on Twister. Now, on the island side of things, we have the number 6, Hogwarts Express, taking on the number 9, BARGES. Number 10, Poseidon's Fury, taking on number 8, Cat in the Hat. Number 15, Flight of the Hippogriff, facing off against the number 14 seed of Carousel. You have number 16, which is the 8th Voyage of Sinbad, taking on Dudley Do-Right, Ripsaw Falls at 11. Number 5, Jurassic Park, taking on number 13, One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. Number 12, The Storm Force of Celatron, taking on number 2, The Amazing Spider-Man. Number 3, The Hulk, taking on number 4, Ollivanders. And number 1, Forbidden Journey, facing off against number 7, Dragon Challenge. So in case there is something that's too close to call for me personally, I'm going to use the coin for that. So we could have some very interesting matchups based upon that. Now, that being said, like my rules are as follows. No one voted for this. This is just my personal opinion and the opinion of this wonderful quarter. So we're going to see what we've got here. So let's start with the first bracket of the island side. We're going to start with Islands of Adventure, and we're going to have Hogwarts Express against BARGES. Now, I've been on the Hogwarts Express many times. Obviously, I really enjoy using it to travel from park to park instead of having to walk all the way across City Walk. It's a much quicker way to get places. And when it comes down to it, there is a really nice show to watch, obviously. It's a very entertaining experience. Now, BARGES is the one thing on the island side that I have zero experience on. BARGES remains one of the only rides I have not rode so far at Universal. Along with Doctor Doom, which I've missed the cut on this game as well. Yeah, those are the two. And it makes it hard for me to go with one or the other. So I think just to be fair, I'm going to coin flip it. So we're going to say the Hogwarts Express would be heads and BARGES would be tails. Let's call it in the air. One win for Popeye. So Popeye wins the first round and defeats the Hogwarts Express. Now, Poseidon's Fury at number 10, facing off against the Cat in the Hat. Again, Poseidon's Fury, I've experienced a total of once in my entire life. Interesting. I like the Wall of Water. It's very entertaining. The show, it's okay. It's okay for what it is. I don't mind Poseidon's Fury. I'm actually starting to get into it, and hopefully it won't go away now that I've found that it's a hidden gem. Now, Cat in the Hat is another situation altogether. Now, when I first rode it, it spun, and now it doesn't, so that takes away some cool points on it. But it's a really cool dark ride, and it really utilizes the Seussian universe to the fullest of its capabilities. That being said, we're going to leave it to the coin one more time. Let's call it in the air. And, of course, heads for, I'm going to say heads for Cat in the Hat, because the cat has a hat on the head. So, yeah, we're going to go with that. And the coin says heads. The Cat in the Hat defeats Poseidon's Fury. Alright, so Flight of the Hippogriff taking on the Carousel. The Flight of the Hippogriff I ride every single time. It's a short ride, it's a kiddie coaster, but it gives you a really awesome view of Hogwarts Castle. I always enjoy that view you have there. I like bowing to Buckbeak. I've always enjoyed that. And I didn't get to ride Flight of the Unicorn. I just know it's basically an overlay, pretty much. Now, on the other hand, the Carousel, I've rode a total of once in my entire life as well. I don't really spend much time in Seuss Landing, other than just walking through to get to Hogsmeade. But that being said, again, just to make this fair, I think I'm going to go ahead and go back to the coin flip, and we're going to see what we've got here. And I'm going to go with Hippogriff for heads, so winner is the Carousel. That's a very surprising win there. So yeah, the right side of the bracket is 3-0 now. Interesting. Number 16, the 8th Voyage of Sinbad against Ripsaw Falls. Sinbad is terrible. I hate the show. I think it's the worst live show in Orlando. I think it needs to leave now. I use the pun Sinbad because it's that bad. I don't like the show at all. It looks awesome, but yeah, and the actors, they do what they can with what they've got, but I just don't like the show. I never have. So this doesn't need a coin flip. Even though Ripsaw Falls got me more drenched in a flume ride than I've ever been in my entire life, so much that literally had to be helped out of the boat because it's so drenched, Ripsaw Falls takes this. So yeah, it's going to take the fourth win for the right-hand side. Here's a fun one. Number 5, which is Jurassic Park River Adventure, taking on the number 13 seed, which is One Fish, Two Fish. Obviously, we have a lot of these attractions in every park. And One Fish, Two Fish is fun. I like the little song to tell you how to avoid the spurt of water that hits you. And I've kind of mastered that, so it's pretty cool. I like One Fish, Two Fish a lot. It's one of the things I like in Seuss. Jurassic Park speaks for itself. It's a water ride. It's a boat ride that doesn't really get me that wet. I will be totally honest with you guys. Usually the wave of water just crests over me. It gets me a little damp, but it doesn't completely drench me. I hate being soaked in rides. I don't really care how hot it is. I don't like getting wet in rides. I never have. So, yeah, riding rides like this, I'll usually ride with a poncho. And you're definitely not getting me any video on these rides because, obvious. So, yeah, this will go to the coin flip as well. I think I like both of these attractions, so I'm going to go ahead and see what we've got here. Heads for Jurassic Park, of course, because dinosaurs have heads. So do fish, so there. Jurassic Park wins. The first victory for the left-hand side of the bracket. Now we have the Storm Force Accelatron at number 12 taking on my favorite attraction in Universal, period, which is the Amazing Spider-Man. Spider-Man speaks for itself, obviously. I love it in every way possible. The 3D works really well for me. I like when they switch to the new film. It looks a lot crisper. You can definitely tell using a digital projection here. And no problems, no qualms with anything. There's so many great things you can see in the queue, and it sucks because I miss a lot of them because I usually don't have a very long wait for this. So that's one of the problems I have with it. I like being able to spot Stanley. It's always fun to do that. And on the other side of the coin, the Storm Force Accelatron. I love the Tilt-A-Whirl. Always growing up, I always enjoyed that. The teacups are fine. Obviously, some people can handle them, some people can't. Imagine the teacups if they were done in, like, darkness with, like, lightning effects and, like, spritzers and everything to make you feel like you're in a storm, but not quite. Yeah, Storm Force Accelatron is really awesome to dry off when you get soaked, and I have before. So, yeah, it makes, like, a natural fan. So, yeah, I'd like to give it anything, but I can't in this situation, so Spider-Man wins. So, without a doubt, Spider-Man wins. Here's a hard one. It is the number 3 seeded Hulk against the number 4 seeded Ollivanders. Okay, without saying anything further, I'm just going to put it this way. Ollivanders will always have a special place in my heart. Straight up, 100%. And I'm not going to go any further into that. Ollivanders was an amazing experience. Getting picked at Ollivanders is an amazing experience. And thus, it's one thing I've never been able to do again since that time. So yeah, it's probably something I'll never be able to do again. I don't think I'll ever be able to step foot in Ollivanders. But, as my friend Joe said, stepping foot in Ollivanders in Diagon Alley, not exactly the same. So, potentially that could happen someday. But I do have my interactive wand, so no worries there. Now, say what you want, but I love the Hulk. Always loved the Hulk. And the Hulk, obviously, has been immortalized in House on Haunted Hill. Not the original, but the newer one, the remake. I love the Hulk. I love the shootout of the Hulk when it just accelerates into the drop. You'll find that out when I talk about my top coasters in Florida. We're going to do that video possibly tomorrow. It just kind of depends on how everything works out with everybody's schedules. So, yeah, it's personal versus something I really love, so I'm going to have to go to the coin here. So, we're going to go with... Since I obviously think with my heart instead of my head, I'm going to go with Ollivanders' heads. Ollivanders wins. Ollivanders just beat the Hulk via coin flip. And the last battle is obviously Dragon Challenge, seated number 7. It's the number 1 attraction in the Islands bracket, and that is Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, which is easily one of my top attractions in Universal, without a doubt. I will state right now that there's not much that can beat Forbidden Journey. There really isn't, honestly, and I don't know if anything is going to beat Forbidden Journey on this list unless the coin says otherwise. But yeah, a Dragon Challenge, it's a pretty sweet coaster. I still ride it to this day. I like both sides. Fire and ice are fun. Obviously, Hungarian Horntail and Chinese Fireball now, which is flipped because it should have been Fireball first and then Horntail second. The old Dueling Dragons, actually was there when they were dueling back in the day, and then they ruined it because some goof decided he wanted to throw things because he's stupid, or she's stupid, or whomever's stupid. Either way, it just takes one goof to ruin it for everyone. So yeah, they don't duel anymore. But I do like Dragon Challenge by and large, and even though the queue is very excessive and very dark and very easy to get lost in, and it's happened before, but I know they have that re-ride gimmick now because people were getting lost trying to get to the other side. But yeah, I love the retheming for Potter. Works really well, but yeah, there's no coin flip needed here. Forbidden Journey wins. So now we go into our next round. All right. Well, let's recap real quick, and I will do that. Hold on. I'll make sure I got this. I'm doing this on camera, so this is not fun. We have the number 9th seed Bilge Rat Barges defeated the number 6 seed, which is Hogwarts Express. We have the number 8 seed Cat in the Hat defeated the number 10 seed Poseidon's Fury. We have the number 14th seed Carousel defeating the number 15th seed Flight of the Hippogriff. It's okay there. We have the number 11 seed Dudley Do-Right Ripsaw Falls defeating the 8th Voyage of Sinbad, which is 16, so goodbye Sinbad, you're gone. The number 5th seed Jurassic Park River Adventure defeating the number 13th seed of One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. The number 2 seed of The Amazing Spider-Man beating the number 12 seed of Storm Force, Celatron. And the very big upset of the first round, Ollivander's Wand Experience at number 4 defeating the Hulk at number 3. So yeah, that was crazy. Only could happen via coin flip, so yeah. And of course, Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey defeating Dragon Challenge. Let's go in our next round, shall we? And then I'll get to the rest of them. So, we have the number 9 seed of Bilge Rat Barges taking on the Cat in the Hat. I'll coin flip this. So, Cat heads for Hat. And winner is Tails. Bilge Rat Barges defeats the Cat in the Hat. That's crazy. It's interesting. I'm very confused how that happened. But it did. And it's interesting. So we're going to go ahead and take Cat in the Hat out of the situation. Our next battle is between the number 14th Carousel against the number 11th Ripsaw Falls. Yeah, we'll coin flip this one too. So, Carousel heads, we'll go with that. Carousel defeats Ripsaw Falls. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, Jurassic Park and Spider-Man, Spider-Man wins. Sorry, I have to do that. There's no way Spider-Man's going to lose this. And Ollivander's against Forbidden Journey. Coin flip. I'll do it again because that wasn't fair. Ollivander's is heads. Ollivander's defeats Forbidden Journey via coin flip. Oh my god, we're going to have an interesting battle. So the final 4 of the Islands bracket is Bilge Rat Barges at number 9, the number 14th seeded Carousel, the number 2 seeded Amazing Spider-Man, and the number 4 Ollivander's. This is interesting. Let's get to our final battle here. It's coming their way. So, Bilge Rat Barges and Carousel, heads for Bilge Rat Barges. That sounds good to me. Carousel defeated Bilge Rat Barges. Oh boy. So a number 14 seed just beat a number 9. Well, Spider-Man and Ollivander's. Oh boy. If Ollivander's wins this, that's gonna... Spider-Man is my head. Obviously, Ollivander's is my heart. So we're gonna go with Spider-Man as heads. That's not fair. I didn't really catch it. Spider-Man wins. So, yeah, I don't think there's really any need to say it. The Amazing Spider-Man wins the Islands of Adventure bracket. So, yeah, that's fair. Okay, well, let's talk about the other side, shall we? So, the Universal Studios Florida bracket. We have Terminator and Cinematic Spectacular. Battle 11 versus number 5. So, we'll coin flip this. So, Spec is heads. Cinespec wins. So, yes. We're going to go with Cinematic Spectacular to win. Some of these are harder than others. So, yeah, I'm going to say Cinematic wins. Rocket the Mummy. It's a tough one. We're going with the Mummy. So, the Mummy wins. Hold on. Alright. Let me explain real quick before we get started on this. Terminator's fun. I've always enjoyed the show. I like the interactive aspects. I love the 3D aspects. Still works this day. I love the live actors. I think that works really well. I love Cinematic Spectacular. It's like Illuminations with movies. I really have always enjoyed it, so Cinespec had to win that one. The Mummy is my favorite roller coaster in Universal, without a doubt. So yeah, I'm going to definitely go with that as the winner over Rocket. Rocket, the one thing I like about Rocket is you actually get to ride to specific songs and hidden tracks. Riding Rocket to Float On by Modest Mouse is pretty incredible, to say the least. So yeah, and I recommend Freebird too, and I don't think I could ever do it again because I don't remember the number. Yeah, we'll go with that one. So yeah, that's my commentary on that one. Okay, number 2, Transformers against number 10, TWIRL and HURL. Like I said, just like with One Fish, Two Fish, I love the concept of TWIRL and HURL. I like the fact that even though I can't do it, trying to shoot the targets, that's fun. I've always enjoyed that. I love how funny the actual queue line is. I like how funny the actual ride is. KANG and KODOS work really well in the Springfield area, and I really like this ride. Now, Transformers, I'm not a fan of Transformers by and large, but I do like the ride. I've always enjoyed the ride, and it's always a fun experience every single time. So that being said, we have to go to the coin flip. So yeah, we're going to go with heads for Transformers. Transformers wins. So Transformers defeats TWIRL and HURL. Okay. Number 14, Seed of the Simpsons ride, taking on the number 17 horror makeup show. I really wish I hadn't slept on the horror makeup show because now I go to it every single time I'm in the area. I go to the horror makeup show at least 4 times every single visit I have to Orlando. I love this show. I think it's great in every single way possible. I got good friends, actually, that are part of the show. I never have actually seen them in the show, but I guess that's just bad timing for me. But yeah, I've always enjoyed the horror makeup show the times that I've enjoyed it. And the Simpsons ride, I love Back to the Future. Like I said, I love the Simpsons area. I love Springfield. The ride is okay. I mean, it seems like a 3D ride that's not 3D. That's the only way to really describe it. It looks nice. It's not as jerky as Back to the Future was in its waning days. So it's okay. Horror makeup show has to win this one. So yeah, let's give it to the horror makeup show. Alright, we have the number 13th seeded Disaster taking on the number 16th seed Shrek 4D. Shrek's fine. It needs to go. It's really dated. I like the Disney references in the queue, and I like the pre-show entertainment. That's always fun. Hearing about flogging people, that's always entertaining. The show, it's okay. I mean, you can get this exact thing on Netflix. This exact show is literally on Netflix right now, so there's no need to have it in the park. They really need to gut this building out and do something else with it, be it another attraction like Shrek, another 3D film, or do something completely different with it. It's prime real estate. It's right in the front of the park. It really needs to go. So yeah, Shrek obviously is not going to win this. I do go with Disaster, even though this is the battle of the attractions that will be leaving sooner rather than later. I love Christopher Walken, the Musion technology, the realization of the earthquake increments. I always enjoyed that. All the elements in Earthquake. I've always enjoyed Earthquake. So yeah, I'm going to go with Disaster here. So yeah, Disaster wins. Alright, we have Beetlejuice against what could possibly be my favorite ride at Universal Studios, which is Men in Black Alien Attack. I like Beetlejuice. I've seen it maybe 3 times my whole life, though. The show's fine for what it is. Obviously, I'm in that area to watch Rocky Horror, usually, for Halloween Horror Nights. And the talent is okay. The music fits in some ways. It's fun watching because some people really seem not to get into it, and Beetlejuice would actually give the crowd heat for it. I always enjoyed that. On the other side of the spectrum, Men in Black, the best shooter in Orlando without a doubt, even though I'm still not very good at it. I can max out at Buzz Lightyear. Toy Story's a workout in a lot of ways, and I still can't really do very well on. I'm still finally starting to get the tricks I need to beat it. But Men in Black is spectacular. I've always loved the Men in Black movies, and I love the setup for everything. I never go through the main queue. I always go through the single rider, which means I miss the complete opening of the show, like the pre-show and everything, all that stuff, which I actually got to experience when I had my dad and my stepmom with me, and also when I had my aunt and uncle and my cousin with me over Christmas. So, and I'll get to experience when my mom's with me in September. So yeah, we've got that. So yeah, without a doubt, Men in Black wins. So yeah, there's no surprise there. This will need a... This next one will need a coin flip without a doubt. It is the number 8 seeded Despicable Me against the number 6 seeded E.T. I thought it had a soft spot in my heart for E.T. I've always enjoyed the attraction. It's a dark ride. It's Peter Pan's Flight, basically. It's pretty much the exact same ride mechanism and everything. It's just a different overlay, obviously. It's E.T. instead of London. So, yeah, you've got an attraction I've always enjoyed. I've always enjoyed the queue. I've always enjoyed E.T. It's always something I've flocked to. It's the last true attraction left from the beginning of Universal, and it's something that seems to be hanging on by a thread. It's always fun to hear E.T. say your name at the end of the attraction. I'm glad that they're utilizing the interplanetary passports to do that yet again. It's always fun to ride on the bike and everything. E.T.'s pretty awesome. But on the other hand, Despicable Me is really good as well. I like the Fantastic World of Hanna-Barbera. I like Jimmy Neutron, even though it seemed like it wore out its welcome. Despicable Me works really well. The problem with Despicable Me right now, for me personally, is the fact that they really underestimated the popularity of Despicable Me. Now, Hollywood did a lot with their Super Silly Funland, and I really think that they could do something else with Despicable Me. But, unfortunately, all we have in Orlando is the really sweet gift shop, and we also have the ride. So, yeah, this is something that's going to require a coin flip. So, let's see. I'm going to go with heads for Despicable Me. So that sounds good to me. So, we're going to go with that, heads, and Despicable Me defeats E.T. And the final battle of the first round of the Universal Studios Florida bracket, we have Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts, number 1 seeded, against the number 9 seeded Twister. I love Bill Paxton. Bill Paxton is gold, glorious, and awesome. And I do love the Twister attraction. I always have. I like the walkthrough of the dilapidated house. It obviously reminds me of something you would see as a possible haunt location for Halloween Horror Nights. It makes perfect sense to me, because obviously it feels like one. It really does. I've always loved Twister. Now, that being said, it's facing off against Gringotts, and Gringotts is pretty sweet. I like Gringotts, like the fact it's a dark ride. If you are in the very back of the back vehicle in Gringotts when the scene happens, you know what I'm talking about, when you get tipped up and you are being controlled by Bellatrix at this point. Spoiler alert. I said it too quickly. You are really high up in the air, and then you just drop into oblivion, and you go into a bunch of awesomeness. I love Gringotts. I think it's great. I love the queue for Gringotts. I love the setup for Gringotts. I love the ride, period. I still like Forbidden Journey a little bit more when it's not wanting to beat me up a lot, which it likes to sometimes, but Gringotts is phenomenal. Gringotts has to win this, but we'll go to the coin flip because of Bill Paxton. So we'll go with heads for the top ride in Universal Studios versus Twister. So let's see what we got. Heads. The Paxton always wins. Twister just beat Gringotts. Only because of the coin flip. So yeah, you're gonna, all the comments here, all the thumbs downs I'm gonna get, it's gonna be like, oh, and really, Twister beating Gringotts? Yeah, blame the coin, because the coin's problem, not mine. I didn't do this on purpose, trust me. Let's go to the next round here. Alright, make sure we got it. So, our next battle is between Cinematic Spectacular and The Mummy. This definitely requires a coin flip. Obviously, two things I love very much about Universal. So, heads for The Mummy. We'll go with that. The Mummy defeats Cinematic Spectacular. So, Transformers against the Horror Makeup Show. Yeah, this definitely requires a coin flip. So, yeah, Transformers heads. Horror Makeup Show wins. Yeah. The Mummy against the Horror Makeup Show in the next round. It's going to be fun. So, Disaster against Men in Black. Men in Black wins. Yeah. Men in Black's too awesome. And Despicable Me against Twister. Paxton. Heads. Don't bet a bet against Bill Paxton. He will rule you every single time. So, yeah, our final four of Universal Studios would be the number 3 seeded Revenge of the Mummy, the number 7 seed Horror Makeup Show, the number 4 seed Men in Black Alien Attack, and the number 9 seed Twister Ride It Out, only because of coin flips. So let's get it down to the final 2, shall we? Alright. So, the Mummy against the Horror Makeup Show. So, heads for the Mummy. We'll go with that. Horror Makeup Show just beat the Mummy. Is the Spider-Man going to face off against the Horror Makeup Show? We're about to find out. Men in Black and Twister. Not for Paxton, man. It's Paxton. Paxton Tails. We'll go with that. Ha ha ha! Men in Black wins. So our finals of Universal Studios Florida bracket is the Horror Makeup Show against Men in Black. So heads for Men in Black. And the challenger for Spider-Man at Universal Studios Florida will be the Universal Horror Makeup Show. Wow. The Makeup Show is going to face off against Spider-Man to determine the top attraction at Universal Orlando. So, let's do this, shall we? And, yeah. This is going to be great. Alright, Heads Makeup Show, Tails Spider-Man, we'll go with that. And the winner of the 2015 Best in the Universe tournament is... The Amazing Spider-Man. The coin does not lie. So let's look at what Spider-Man beat. Spider-Man beat the Storm Force Accelatron. Yeah, it was a one-sided battle. And then Spider-Man beat Jurassic Park. Yeah, a little bit harder task there. Spider-Man had to get past Ollivanders. Yeah, I didn't think anything was stopping Ollivanders. And then Spider-Man had to face off against the very dominating Karo Susel to win. And, of course, it beat the Horror Makeup Show in the finals. The Horror Makeup Show had a really long battle ahead on them. The Horror Makeup Show defeated the Simpsons in round 1. The Horror Makeup Show defeated Transformers in round 2. The Horror Makeup Show defeated the Revenge of the Mummy in the semifinals. And, oh, the quarterfinals, sorry, I don't know bracket terminology. And it defeated Men in Black in the semifinals. Actually, no, I was right, semifinals, and in the finals it defeated Men in Black. And then it lost to Spider-Man. So yeah, great showing for the Horror Makeup Show. This coin is the only reason some of these happen, because I'm not going to lie to you right now. I think that, yeah, Cinespec over T2 makes sense. Mummy over Rocket makes sense. Transformers over KANG and KODOS makes sense. Makeup Show over Simpsons. Disaster over SHREK. Men in Black over BEETLEJUICE. E.T. over Despicable Me would have been what I would have went with. GRINGOTTS over Twister. Yeah, that probably would have made more sense. The Mummy over Cinematic Spectacular. Transformers probably over the Horror Makeup Show. Yeah, there's a lot of things that have been different in this bracket if I would have went that way. But I used the coin, and the coin doesn't lie. So yeah, that's what we've got. So Paxton could not defeat Men in Black. He tried, but he couldn't. That's just what I think, and that's just what the coin thinks. And the coin was basically there to make my mind up for me. So that's what we've got. So yes, your winner of the 2015 Best in the Universe tournament is The Amazing Spider-Man. If you agree, if you disagree, I'm sure you probably disagree, but I disagree with a lot of these things too, and it's just how the coin, I would not have picked some of the things that the coin picked, so yeah. I'm kind of surprised the coin picked a lot of these. Ollivander's going so far was crazy. The Kara Susel going all the way to the end is really crazy. But yeah, that's how it worked, so that's what we've got for this tournament. If you have an idea for your own tournament, or would like to go through what I picked and tell me who you think should have won, let me know by leaving a comment on this video. And you also can get a hold of me via Facebook at Owen Disney. Friend request me that way. Tweet me at @SirOwenDisney and say, Owen, you're out of your mind, or Owen, yeah, you're right. You can do that if you'd like to do that, or if you'd like to email me. We can talk about this tournament, Universal in general, or we can talk Disney. We can talk theme parks in general. We can talk about movies, talk about wrestling. Obviously, it's WrestleMania weekend coming up. And we could also talk about Halloween Horror Nights. We got news that trickle down every once in a while. Or if you want to talk about this channel, we have regular segments here, the Vlog of Randomness and Sip and Snack, as well as Versus. If you have ideas for those, shoot ideas my way. Or if you want to be a popcaster yourself, you can email me. All this, email me, SirOwenDisney@gmail.com. Quick programming note, tomorrow, Ashley should be bringing you Gaming with Ash twice this week, what it looks like. If that does not happen, I've got another video for you guys tomorrow, and you have to wait till tomorrow to find out what it's going to be. So, that being said, we have a brand new Sip and Snack on Thursday. We're going to be focusing on some snack foods and the LeBron James Special Sprite 6 mix. And Friday, AJ's movie reviews will be tackling The Cobbler, Accidental Love, Cut Bank, and The Humbling. And we'll bring you Gaming with Ash regular day on Saturday. Sunday, brand new Versus, the gangster theme. Monday, we'll bring you the regular edition of AJ's movie reviews because AJ's been out of town. It's going to be focusing on home as well as Get Hard. So that's going to be coming your way. Tuesday, we're going to go in NXT and Impact. Wednesday, brand new Vlog of Randomness. Thursday, brand new Sip and Snack. Friday, AJ's movie reviews. Saturday, brand new Gaming with Ash. And Sunday is Versus. That's how we do it here on Pop. So thank you guys and girls up there for watching the 2015 Best of the Universe Tournament. And until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all I got to say about that.